Welcome to the Caber76 Nerd and Gamer Show. I'm pretty psyched this week. It was really cool in the World of Warcraft, so I'm pretty excited. But before we even get anywhere into that, I'm just going to kind of go over my week because it was kind of cool. I had a good time. I stayed at my girl's house, and we played a lot of WoW. And we did mostly Zerath Mortis. And, that's kind of what we do at endgame at this point. That's how we're gearing. She was a little upset because she had like 247 or something, and I caught up to her, and I wasn't trying to. I was just doing quests, and I got items. I think I got a mace that was pretty high, like 246 or something like that. It's all based on that research. The more research you do, the better gear you get. But anyway, I'm sorry. I did not mean to outgear you. So this week, Blizzard Entertainment announced Dragonflight, which is the World of Warcraft upcoming expansion. And it's just been a buzz with everybody. Everybody's been all over the place with it. There's been so many different opinions. I'm not going to lie. I was like super pumped. I was super excited. I could not wait for the reveal. I just kept looking at my phone. And I was kind of let down when I first heard it. When they said what it was. And, I guess I do this a lot. I get it in my head that, I want this. It was kind of like The Last Jedi. I guess this is a great example. I had in my head what The Last Jedi was going to be like, and it was a total letdown for me. So when I didn't get the housing, which is really what I wanted, and more character slots, big shocker, right? I got kind of like down, and it just made me upset. And I was like, take some time. Because some of the features seem cool. So I started to think about it, and I took some time, and damn, dude, like, I'm pretty excited about it. Like, I really think this is going to be a cool thing that they're doing. I love the idea of professions. I always felt in SWG that I always got to be a great crafter, and I can't wait to do that in the World of Warcraft. I really like the dragon flying idea. I'm very interested in that, and I hope eventually, if it's successful, that they revamp all flying that way, because it'll be really cool to have, like, interactive flying, and flying that actually means something, not just kind of moving up and down and hanging out and going AFK, which I do a lot. But I read a lot of interviews. I really like the information I'm hearing. I think the UI needs an overhaul. I think the talent system is overdue, long overdue. So revamp on that. So I really am excited about it. And it's funny because I went from not excited to like super super excited, and now I'm just like, when are they going to drop the pre-order, because I'm totally ordering it. So that's me. I'm very indecisive, but all honesty, I'm very excited about it. So we'll definitely see how that goes. Anyway, let's get on to the first question. So this week's question and answers. Let's get into the question. Do you prefer consoles or PCs? This one was one of those things that I thought was a great question. I was super, super psyched about it, and somebody brought it to my attention that it was a debated topic that's been beaten over and over again. And I guess that's probably why I did not get as many replies as I thought I was going to get on it. But all in all, something pretty awesome happened today, and I got some replies. So I'm pretty happy about it. So let's get on to the first reply. It comes from Electric Smurf at Sound Wizard LLC, who you all know wrote and played the intro and outro music to the show, which is just fucking awesome, so check him out. He says, I love retro gaming, and there's a good argument to be made for emulators, but it doesn't recreate the retro console experience. I'm not a fan of PC gaming simply because I don't own one, and I don't need one. I use a Mac for work because I can't afford to rely on the instability of a PC. I'm not opposed to it. I like Steam, but you can get Steam on a Mac too. I'd go for a MacBook and an Adobe account. Smurf, I love you, but I'm a PC person, man. I love my PC, and I get what your job and what you do. It definitely makes sense to have a Mac, and I agree with you on that sense, because I did graphic design, and I always felt like design and sound and video, it's just better on a Mac. And I think I've got some friends too that are in your line of work, and they feel the same way. So I totally get it, but I'm a PC guy. I don't really have, I haven't played many emulators, but the ones I have played are pretty good. And I think Steam is awesome. I have a Steam account and I love it. So anyway, next question. So the next answer comes from Ahmed Sumadai. I feel like I'm a wrestling announcer trying to announce your name and trying to get it right, and I never can. So it's pretty cool. He says, I'm a bit more convoluted. I prefer console because the controller doesn't give me carpal tunnel like mouse and keyboard. But I think gaming on a PC is better because how open the keyboard makes a game. For instance, being able to quick slot keys is such a great perk. You know what, dude? That is so true. Well, the carpal tunnel part's true too, because I've gotten carpal tunnel because I used to be a designer for a very long period of time of my life, and I've gotten carpal tunnel, and I have the wristband hand brace someplace in my house, so I get it. But I do think that the PC has more depth to it, and the key bindings and the quick slots, and like even this, like I've got my gamer's mouse here, you know, and I've got my little buttons on the side, and I've got my top buttons, and everything is just kind of set to that. So it really does kind of favor you in that sense. So I do understand that one. It is kind of a nice perk. So the next one comes from Console at Console, who ironically says, console for the win, PlayStation 5 and PlayStation. I used to be a PC-only person, but I found it hard to disconnect from work and became addicted to WoWcrack and Evercrack. I need something I can get on, play for a little bit, and then log off. Now, I've seen it firsthand with him, and he does, but I tend to disagree with him on this because I think it's his personality, and he's a way busier person than he was in the past. But, you know, I was addicted to SWG for a good part of my life, and I have an ex-girlfriend who can tell you that I was addicted to SWG for a good period of my life, and I think it probably helped ruin our relationship. But, you know, I mean, everything has a plan. So it is hard to disconnect from work when you're on a PC all day and then you come home and do it. But to me, it's relaxing. I don't know. I do IT work. I'm on a PC all day. I don't find it hard to disconnect, and I don't feel addicted to WoW or SOTOR or ESO. I feel like that was a growing thing with me. So I don't know. Maybe to you it's a little bit different. Maybe it's your personality. I've been there. I have been addicted, but I don't feel that way now. So, but you know, everybody's different. So it does make some sense if that's, you know, what you've gone through and that's how you feel. The next one comes from Ziani. Pandaren for life. Can I like both? Question mark. Geez, I didn't really play anything on the computer till I met you. Before that, my gaming was mainly Nintendo. I like me some Mario and Animal Crossing. But WoW is fun, and I like that too. Not sure I would play anything else on the computer, so Nintendo wins. Okay, you're my girlfriend, so I guess I can pick on you a little here. But I did not make you play WoW, which you didn't say I did. But you saw that there was pets and you decided to play. So I got you into WoW. And it's cool. But I told you at the beginning you didn't have to play. And you weren't going to. So now you've got another hobby. But she was very addicted to Animal Crossing and always played it. So that doesn't shock me that she would be all over Nintendo. And anytime that she didn't agree with me, she goes, "Do you want to fight about it? We can Mario Kart." And I'd be like, I don't even play Mario Kart, so I would lose that on a like, you know, on a quick shot. I would lose that. But WoW, I would probably play it pretty damn good. So she's into WoW now. She's probably in fact playing it right now. So the next one comes from somebody's name I'm going to butcher because I have to do that once per show. Arv Ovan at Arvovan Gaming. Yeah, sorry if I butchered it, because I'm sure I did. They said, I play both consoles and PC, but I by far prefer the PC. And, you know, I feel the same way. I play both, and I always prefer the PC. I just feel the most comfortable in front of the PC, and I don't know why I feel the most comfortable in front of the PC, but I just do. So I get that one a lot, actually, and I feel the same way. The next one comes from Fred McVan, at Fred McVan. He says, it depends on the game. MMORPGs, I like PCs. FPS, I like PC. Fighting games, I like console. Childhood favorite, console like Mega Man, Sonic, Mario, Metroid type games. I mean, I'm kind of that way too. But I mean, I play ESO on the console, so ESO is an MMO, and I like it better on the console. It just feels better to me on the console. It feels kind of boxy, and the controller is weird on the PC. Like it's just made better for the PlayStation. I don't play many first-person shooters. I don't like them, so I can't really relate to that. But I do know that when I play Red Dead Online and I play it on the PC and I play it on the PlayStation, I prefer the PlayStation because it just moves better. So I think it kind of does depend on the game. So the next one comes from Imberia, who says, I've used both for gaming. I don't know that I have a preference, but I think PC was a little easier in that it offers more versatility for UI setup and gameplay options, customization, and add-ons. Console is pretty much what they give you is what you get and is limited with customization abilities. But I like that I can lounge on the couch and still play instead of being stuck at a desk. That's funny because I feel the customizations in MMOs seem to be more in depth on the PC for sure. The UI setup is just it's very bland to me on PlayStation and console. Like even playing Division 2, it feels kind of bland. Playing ESO, it feels kind of bland. Where if I play SWTOR, I have all this ability where I can change my I can change my UI around, I can change my radars around, I can change my maps around, I can move my specials over here, and it's cool. Warcraft is going to be doing that in expansion, so that's kind of badass too. But there is something to say about being able to lounge on your couch. I mean, I do that when I'm playing PS5 or 4, so I get it too. It's nice to just relax on that couch. Next one comes from Shantyman Gaming at Shantyman Gaming. He says, it really depends on my mood and workload. If I'm doing a large amount of data entry at work, I'm more likely to play on console, or if I'm on PC, use a controller instead. But it's nice to be able to revisit older console games that have been re-released on. I'm sorry. Shanty, that's interesting. I've never thought about that. I mean, I've had days at work where they're busy or not so busy, and I'm just like, because to me it's funny. I guess I don't really do what you do, but I sometimes don't really socialize on my MMOs on the PC. So when I want to socialize on a stressful day, that's when I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play console because my friends, Smurf, Ahmed, Iberia, and Khan, they all play on the console. So I usually play with them on the console if I want to chat. So it is kind of a de-stressor for me too in that sense when I feel social, because I'm a very introverted person and I don't always want to socialize, which is definitely something I go through a lot. So the next one comes from Charlie Plays WoW at Chiswick. Now, before we go on anywhere, Charlie, you're awesome. I want to thank you for retweeting this question and getting some replies for me. The next answers are all going to be from people that replied to Charlie. Charlie had some really cool things happen to him this week, and he got a lot of hits on his Twitter, and I think he posted about how he's peaked, and he got the attention of Asmongold, which is just fucking awesome. So congratulations, Charlie. Very cool. He said consoles might be a more even playing field. All play on the same hardware, no fewer mods. But I like PC a little more for the customizable experience. I might change my mind if WoW comes to Game Pass, though, because so many games. I've never played on the Game Pass, so I don't know what that's like, but I assume it's kind of like the PlayStation Plus, where you just, you have the PlayStation membership and you have all these different games, and I think Xbox is the Game Pass, right? So they have that. So, one of the things I think a friend of mine, he said to me, one of the things he liked about the console was it was cheaper for him to buy a new PlayStation than to go out and buy a PC. And he was able to play any of the games that were out there because he had the PlayStation. So I like that, but I do feel like, you do, like you said, you get more of an even playing field on the console because you can't add mods, you can't add add-ins like that. Where in the PC you can get a little bit more in depth. You can play things with modded games and things like that. So it's those are points that are definitely out there for sure. And again, Charlie, you're awesome. Thank you. Next one comes from Michael C.S. Sai Emru. And I know I butchered your name, and this comes from Charlie's Twitter. And he said, depends on my mood and the game I'm playing. Generally prefer the PC, but I do enjoy consoles too. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the common theme. Shanti brought it up before, and I didn't really think of it, but when he brought it up, I kind of started to think to myself, it does. I mean, it depends on the mood you're in and how, what you feel like playing at the moment. So it definitely fits. Next one was borrowed again from Charlie's Twitter, and this name I will probably butcher, at Huli Totems. They say I have built a PC, an Xbox One S, on the TV upstairs for streaming to the TV and the Super NES behind me. It's on its own TV in the basement. And they had a picture on the Twitter account, and it looks freaking pretty cool. But that's cool too, to build your own PC and an Xbox and have your Xbox One upstairs with everything else, like streaming to the TV and your Super Nintendo behind it. Like, you can have that gaming room, which I think is really cool. I would love to do a gaming room. I mean, I have an apartment, and my living room is my gaming room. But if I ever get a house and I move in with anybody again, I'm going to, I want to set up a gaming room. Just everything, like all the consoles, put the PCs in there, all of that. And it's kind of cool to be able to do that. So that's very cool. And the last one, I think it might be the last one. There might be another one. Comes from Miko Luski. And I totally butchered that. At Pobe. I'm playing WoW on a Mac. There are dozens of us. Gonna get an Xbox when I get a new telly. That was kind of what I did. I held off on buying a PlayStation until I got a new television because I felt like my television was too small. And if you got the friends that are all playing, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like I said earlier, if you got the friends on one system more than the other, then you're probably going to play more on one than the other. So it definitely fits that too. And I was wrong. There is one more. Protect the signal at the Signal Warden. All these were taken from Charlie's Twitter. And they wrote, I only play console with my kids or friends who are farther away and don't have a PC. Outside of that, I stick to my pretty RBG boy. It's a good point. Like, if you've got friends that are in different states, in different places, and you want to be closer to them, and they don't have PCs. I mean, that's a lot of my friends don't have PCs, and the console works because you can do all that on the console with your friends. So it's a good point. I mean, it depends on your friends and family, and if you're with your kids, that's another great thing too, because like you can sit in the living room with your kids and you guys can just play. You can just play games on the console, and I do that with my girlfriend's daughter. Sometimes we'll just play games on the console. We tried playing Disney Infinity, and then she just throws me off the ledge, but I did teach her that, so it is my fault. And anyway, I think that is it, and I wanted to discuss the topic myself. So, do I prefer consoles or PC? I like them both. I used to be a pretty diehard PC gamer. I build my own PC, which is still over here behind me. It is old. I only played PC for a very long period of time. I had consoles. I grew up on Nintendo. I've always liked Nintendo. I got into PlayStation when Madden came out, actually, because I was very into John Madden football. And I love consoles just as much as I love computers. I think computers have more in-depth when it comes to MMOs. I'm not knocking any MMO on the PlayStation because I like ESO. But I do feel that computers themselves have just more capability to do things. You can customize more. You get more out of it. I'm not a modder. I don't like modded games. I don't play them. I'm big on Steam. I like my games on Steam. I've got a bunch of different series that I'm actually going to do videos on. Like I have Police Quest, the entire series, and I want to do some videos on that. I like to check out the new games that are all coming out. I think This Is My Land is one of them that I own on there, and I love it. I love the concept of it, and I love watching it come together, and it's just a cool game. But console too, I mean, I've got games like I prefer Red Dead Online on the console. Maybe it's because I normally play with Electric Smurf, and him and I usually run around and play, but I prefer it even when he's not on and I'm playing. I play it on the PlayStation, and I have it on the PC. But I just like the way it moves better and controls better on the PlayStation. And it's weird because I've got friends that are PC gamers, and they're very much into wanting to just get me to play it on the PC, and I'm just not feeling it. But, I like them both. Definitely like them both. And I'm sorry I keep turning my head, but my dog is making weird noises, so I keep checking it out. But anyway, thank you guys again for making this all possible. I'm really enjoying it. I'm hoping the shows get better. I really do hope the sound gets a little bit better. I'm using a different mic, but I'm still not sure I like the sound of it, so we'll figure it out. But again, big thanks to Charlie Plays WoW for doing what he did today, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for everybody that replied, and I hope we get to do this again next week. So peace out.